All right, let's dive into a really powerful story today. It's set a long, long time ago in this peaceful, prosperous kingdom. You know, the kind with green fields and flowing rivers. But it's a tale that gets at a huge question. Where does real power and success actually come from?
So, at the heart of our story, you've got these three things. We've got two men who could not be more different, and a secret. A secret so simple, yet so important, that it literally holds the key to saving an entire kingdom. This is where it all kicks off.
Okay, so let's meet our main players. First up, we have Hassan. He's a farmer, and while he might not have much money, the story says he was incredibly rich in his faith. And on the other side, we have King Ion. He's a powerful ruler, smart, strategic, but also known for his massive pride.
And this is where you can really see the clash, right? It breaks down their whole philosophy on life. For Hassan, it's all about starting every task, no matter how small, with a word of blessing, because he believes that's what invites help from above. But King Aeon? Nope. He's a man of the here and now. He believes success comes from your own strength, your own plans, and your own power. Just two totally opposite ways of looking at the world.
Well, these two very different beliefs are about to get put to the ultimate test. Out of nowhere, a devastating drought just grips the kingdom. We're talking rivers running dry, crops just shriveling up, and a terrible hunger starts to spread. And you know what? Not even the king's own fancy royal fields were safe.
So the king, he decides to go out in disguise to see for himself just how bad things have gotten for his people. And as he's traveling, he stumbles upon something that it doesn't make any sense. In this huge sea of dry, dead fields, he finds this one little farm, an oasis of green, with healthy wheat, strong vegetables, you name it. And whose farm was it? Of course, it belonged to Hassan.
The king is just completely baffled. He can't figure it out, so he walks up to the farmer to find out what in the world is going on. And this is that moment, you know? It's where pride comes face to face with humility. A powerful king is about to ask a simple farmer for wisdom.
This is the crucial question, isn't it? The king just cannot wrap his head around it. I mean, think about it. He's got the best advisors, the best tools, all the money and resources in the world, and his fields are a disaster. But this farmer, who has practically nothing, is thriving. He has to know the secret.
And the secret? Well, it all comes down to this one word, Bismillah. It's an Arabic phrase, and it means, in the name of Allah. But for Hassan, this isn't just some magic word. It's the start of everything he does. Before he even touches his plow, before he plants a single seed, he says this phrase. He's basically setting an intention of blessing and faith over all of his work.
Hassan's explanation is just so simple but so deep. He tells the disguised king, look, I'm not more skilled than anyone else. I just put my work in God's hands. And in return, he puts barakah, or blessing, into it. And that's what makes it grow. Now the king, he's skeptical. He's thinking, really? Just one word? That's it?
So the king heads back to the palace, and you can just imagine his mind is racing. He's curious for sure, but that pride is still there, making him doubt everything. Could it really be that simple? He decides, okay, I have to test this for myself, but I'm going to do it my way.
So he sets up this experiment with two steps. First, he does it the King Aeon way. He uses the best seeds, the best tools, everything money can buy. But, and this is key, he deliberately does not say Bismillah. And the result? Total failure. The crops grow weak and yellow. So, feeling a little rattled, he moves on to step 2. He goes to the field all by himself, humbles himself, and whispers the farmer's simple phrase over the soil.
And this is the turning point. The moment he says that phrase with real humility, everything changes. It's like the soil just comes to life, the plants shoot up, they grow tall and strong, and pretty soon the field is healthier and more abundant than any field he'd ever seen. The king had his proof.
This whole experience, it just completely changes the king. He finally gets it. He understands the lesson that Hassan, the humble farmer, was trying to teach him. It wasn't about some magic spell. It was about your mindset. It's about what we might even call the power of intention, starting something with mindfulness.
So the king goes to find Hassan again, but this time, the vibe is totally different. There's no skepticism, just a ton of respect. He actually tells him, you have taught me something more valuable than any book or any advisor ever could. And he doesn't just keep this lesson to himself. He makes it a royal decree, changing the entire foundation of his kingdom right then and there.
So what's the big takeaway here? The story is basically telling us that real, lasting power isn't found in things like crowns or armies or wealth. It's found in these three qualities. Humility, which is really about having the wisdom to let go of control. Faith, which is trusting in something bigger than yourself. And remembrance, which is just that simple act of being mindful and intentional. Once the king figured that out, his whole kingdom started to thrive again.
And that's where we'll wrap this one up. The story of the farmer and the king really leaves us with a great question to think about, doesn't it? Beyond this story, what are the small words, the simple intentions, or those little moments of humility that bring unexpected power and blessings into our own lives? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.